Welcome back to the MCAT grind. We have Psych, Chapter 9, Social Interaction. Social interaction bases on different aspects of how we, as individuals, interact with others in groups and more. Starting off, we have status. Status or status can be split into different parts. It could either be an ascribed status, which is assigned from the moment you're born, or you're born with, or you're assigned to you. So examples of ascribed status include your race, maybe your biological sex, and we also have achieved status, which is earned. Perhaps your achieved status could be a top honor student, or you could be a status as in certain job, perhaps your status as a medical worker. Your master status is the status you mostly associate with, your main status. So for most of us, we are currently have the master status of a student because we're in the process of learning and we want to keep learning. For many, however, it is status of a worker because they are earning money and want to use that as their main status. Or for some, it's parents. Being a parent is their master status. We also have roles. Roles are the expectations and beliefs within that status. So there are in achieved status of, let's say, a swim coach. In that role, you have expectations to be strict and vigilant and also mindful about the safety of the participants. So that are the roles and expectations. And beliefs should be that they, as a coach, you believe that the team will do well under your instruction. So expectations and beliefs within that status. And there are certain parts that come in conflict. So if within your same role, you have, let's say, as a parent, you have to deal with changing diapers and also take them to different places and also meet their appointments. Within that same role, you have different functions that you need to do. So you may also need to attend different meetings as a parent. You may also need to complete workshops as a parent. Those are all things within that same parent role, and if those come into contact and conflict with each other in time schedule or energy, they're explained as role strain. Think about strain from the same strain cloth, so the same strain. Role conflict is when you have multiple roles in an individual and they all compete against for the energy or the time for the individual. So for instance, currently if one is a student and a worker and have to maintain good working relationship with a friend, or they also have to be a good lover, they're experiencing many roles and they all compete for the individual's energy and time. And when two or more of those roles compete for time in that person, they will experience role conflict, whether to give more time to this or another time to that. Within a group is two or more individuals that share similarities. It could be a primary group, which two people share very good intimacy, such as a group of friends, maybe with your parents, or within, buddies. In a secondary group, it's more like acquaintances. You're just there for a project. You're just getting to know each other. You're not all that too close. It might break apart a lot easier. Within groups, there are also what we call reference groups. And those are people that we want to refer ourselves and draw similarities to in order to strive forward and get better. In a network, it's patterns within groups and individuals that can be linked and drawn. So it may be one individual access resources to this place and another individual also accesses resource to this place, and between the individuals they may also be acquaintances or friends and so on. You have different groups, maybe with different dynamics with each other. Maybe this individual had an intimacy with another, but they were acquaintances to other parts and places. So you can draw it all out like a mind map. That's when we go and say networking events. You may see known acquaintances or people from different faculties or different places that you may known before. In an organization, there are groups with a goal. How they're different from groups is that they can happen independent of the individuals. So think about joining a workplace. If you join that workplace, what happens when you leave and resign? Well, the workplace is not going to shut down, is it? It's going to keep going. And that is what an organization goes. They keep going with the goal, and the individual doesn't have a huge impact on the organization structure. But they're working towards a goal, and individuals within are striving to help improve that goal, strive towards that goal. Organizations in a specific form called bureaucracy is particularly present and eminent in our today, in modern today. Bureaucracy basically suggests that, or shows that there are structures within the organization where the more you get experience within the organization, you have seniority. And with seniority, you also get more rights over others, and you can command others to do below you to do certain things within seniorities. You can also improve your seniority by achievements and certain certifications to go up. There are also fixed salaries with increased wages for those with more experience. But the downside of bureaucracy is because we have similar individuals, very many are very, very old, and because the older they are, the more experience they rack up and they have all the seniority, changes happen very slow within the bureaucracy because they may oppose the change and, well, it's not going to get passed. They hold all the power. That's also the rule of the iron law of oligarchy, where the entire organization, the power is held by the few elite individuals. Next, we have self-presentation. In emotion, we have the basic model, which we learned. There are the universal emotions: happy, sad, anger, disgust, and more. We also have social the construct model of emotions, which is not universal. It's based on the social context, so whatever fits the mood in the present, or better fits the situation in the present that you perform the emotion. Display rules happen and they change from culture to culture. For instance, in Southeastern Asia, it's an unspoken display rule that you shouldn't keep eye contact with strangers and you should mind your own business. But in Western culture, it is quite the opposite, which you may want to look at people more in the face and look at them when they're talking. Otherwise, it is considered not respectful. Impression management is how we try to affect how others sees us. So we have different ways called disclosure, which we actually say the information. Appearance, how we dress ourselves up. Ingratiation, which just means flattery. You flatter people to give them compliments and make them think positively of you. Aligning action, which we basically give excuses for our actions which may be questionable. Outer casting is saying, oh, what would a good student do? What would a good kid do? What would they do? And trying to live up to that. The dramaturgical approach, or drama approach for short, includes the front and the backstage of ourselves. The front stage is how we present ourselves to others, and the backstage is which we don't show the audience, which is others. We don't show people who we are on the inside. Miad, last name Miad, says there's an I and a me. The I is who I want to be, and me is what others think of me. So I want to be creative, I want to do something super special, and me, I want to maintain that self-image that others perceive around the world and work with. So I have to be a good student, I have to be a good kid, I have to be a good doctor, all that. But the I, perhaps I want to pursue musical career, I want to pursue something else. Communication comes in different ways. We have verbal communication, which is speech, written or signed, and they all involve words. However, a lot of our body languages, tones, gestures, eye contact, pauses within our tones, all are in non-verbal communication, and those make up a lot when we're talking to people face to face. That's also why a lot of communication gets lost over text or phone, because a lot of these gets lost, but pauses may also help as non-verbal cues. Animals also communicate. They have sense, vocal, body language, movements, and they all show different ways to convey messages and information to one another. There's one thing about pheromones that animals do a lot more than us humans, because our pheromone detecting gland is pretty much accessory at this point and doesn't really function. So there's a debate around that. Okay, good luck.